Hello everybody, it's Kyle Van Vors with Vors.com, and today we are going to be discussing what to do when a prospect replies to your email and says, not interested. Ooh, I know, it hurts. Let's talk about it. All right, if you've been in sales or an SDR for long enough, you've definitely had someone respond to your email with not interested or something along the lines. Does it crush us inside deeply? Yeah, absolutely. But do we keep powering through because we're sales professional? You betcha. So today I'm going to discuss what I do when somebody responds with not interested, and specifically how you could turn some of these not interested responses into booked meetings. Before I jump in, remember, like, comment, subscribe, show a little bit of love, and I'll keep making content like this. Awesome. Well, let's jump right in. If a prospect responds to your email and they say they're not interested, the number one best thing for you to do, no questions, hands down, is pick up the phone and call them. Now, before you click off, right, if people are leaving this video left and right, it's just the truth. Getting them on the phone has your highest chance of turning that no into a yes. And here's why. Emails are great at hitting a lot of people, reaching people who are unattainable through phone. Maybe you don't have their number, but it's not great at identifying a need. So here's what I mean. If you send an email, really what you're doing is you're hoping you're tailoring an email that's very relevant to the person that you're talking to, but you don't actually know their problems, right? If we knew every person's problem before we're emailing them, we're just gonna take that problem, put it in an email, say we have a solution, but we don't, right? So what do you have to do? You have to hope. You have to guess based on your experience and based on what problems you actually solve. But most solutions solve more than one problem, right? Well, here's where things get interesting. When you are on the phone with someone, you get the opportunity to get their challenge before you share your solution. And this is important because you are connecting the dots for the prospect. You're not hoping the prospect connects the dots for themselves. So if you have a solution that helps them generate more business, that's great, but they might look at your solution as just a feature, right? So a classic example is like, let's say you sell a tool that, like a marketing automation software, right? The problem that the prospect might be having is lead generation. But they might not look at your marketing software, your marketing automation software that you just sent them an email about. They might not be looking at that as a solution to their lead gen problems. They're like, we already have a marketing automation problem. But if you were to speak to that person, learn more about their lead gen challenge and specifically what they're doing to try to solve it, you can then tie your solution by basically saying, this is something different that is specific to you and solving that problem you told me you have. The phone is a lot more powerful for that. Now, the second thing you could do if you're not going to pick up the phone, or you did pick up the phone, they don't answer ever, is you can respond back. And there's two real ways that I use an email response to try to get another meeting on the calendar. The first one is you reply with value and then you just follow up later. So this is pretty standard, where you'll basically take an article or some piece of content that you think will really be applicable to the person you're emailing, and then you send it to them, and then you follow up in a month or two in order to see how things are going and somewhat starting to build a relationship or at least some familiarity. Here's a template that I typically use for that, and I'm going to read it top to bottom here. Thanks for the candor name. I definitely don't want to push if there's no need. In the spirit of giving, here's an article about topic that I think your team will love. Talk soon, Kyle. Super simple, generate a little bit of goodwill. In a month, I'll follow back with them, probably give them a call. If not, at least shoot another email and keep an open line of dialogue. And because I'm not being pushy, I'm providing some value, there's a little bit of goodwill being generated. All right, now the second email I like to do is a little different from the first, because we're actually going to try to reel this person back in. And how we're going to do that is by asking a question that's going to spark some curiosity. So let me just run you through a template here, and you'll see what I mean. I hear you, name. Not here to push at all, but I am curious. Have you done the math on how much problem is costing you? Happy to share some insights I have in this area. This is a great way to try to build some curiosity and get an email response, because maybe they have not thought about what the cost of that problem is. And sometimes it's monetary, sometimes it's with the team. And if it's something they care about, they might think like, oh wait, this might be more related to something that's important to me than I initially thought. or at least maybe there's something to learn here that I don't know already. All right, that's it. Those are 2 templates that I use from an email perspective, but remember the number 1 rule. Just give them a call. That's always the best way to move the needle. All right, thanks so much. It's been Kyle, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.